Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second Cancer pre-full moon meditation. The full moon will be tomorrow, as shown on your screen, at 10:17 a.m. GMT. This is the first blue moon, which is a second full moon in the same sign, since Libra of 2010. So we'll start by taking a brief look at the astrological chart for the full moon, which is in the 29th degree of Capricorn. Previous moon was in the first degree of Capricorn, and that's really the only way that you can get two full moons in the same sign, to have it in the first and last degrees. Like last month, the Sabian symbol commentary on this degree seems to me especially significant. Quote, "The power to assume responsibility for crucial choices arrived at after mature discussions with those who share this power." This commentary is particularly relevant because the sun and moon are in the anaretic degree of their respective signs. Anaretic degree is also called the critical degree or the degree of crisis. The natural intensity of this degree is further increased by the fact that the moon is conjunct Pluto, which, while stimulating the emotions, also encourages transition from top-down authority to group consciousness. This conjunction brings to a head the energy created by Pluto's multiple crossings from 29 degrees Capricorn to 0 degrees Aquarius over the past year, underscoring the transition from the old to the new order, from Piscean to Aquarian consciousness. Trying the Moon-Pluto conjunction is a very rare and potent stellium, which includes Uranus conjunct the star Algol at 26 degrees of Taurus, a conjunction that hasn't been seen since May of 1941 and will be with us until late October of this year. This Uranus-Algol conjunction is both subjectively and objectively seismic in its effects. It is eruptive, combustive, and it brings out rebellious and revolutionary energies. An energy that is right at home for Mars, which has joined this stellium in the last few days, and which will act as a trigger for this combustive energy. A perfect example of this conjunction's effect can be found in the recent global IT outage, which knocked out flight, banking, and emergency services around the world. I listened to one astrologer who actually predicted a massive internet outage, and that's what we had. For disciples, this conjunction has the effect of breaking up old patterns, habits, and routines. This is not a gentle energy. This is a triple force for change: Algol, Uranus, and triggered by Mars. Also important this month is the exact trine between the Sun and Neptune, which is also sextile the Moon, all in the anaretic degrees of the respective signs, all in that critical 29th degree, which demands and promotes change. This underscores the fact that the crucible that humanity finds itself in, represented by the Algol-Uranus conjunction, is ultimately a spiritual one, that the developing world crisis is necessary for rebirth into Aquarian attitudes and consciousness. Okay, let's take a quick look at Cancer, whose exoteric keywords are let isolation be the rule, and yet the crowd exists. A reference to the isolation caused by incarnation, as well as to the mass consciousness represented by this sign. Cancer's esoteric keywords are I build a lighted house and therein dwell, which proclaims a disciple's goal for incarnation. For once lighted, the personality becomes the true lighted house of the soul. Cancer is the sign of the crab, which symbolizes the duality of form and soul unified in the physical body. Cancer is also the first of two major astrological gates, providing the wide road into incarnation. The second major gate is found in its opposite pole in Capricorn, which represents the narrow mountain path that leads out of the human kingdom into the kingdom of souls, the fifth kingdom. This Cancer-Capricorn axis is represented by the positions of the sun and moon in this month's full moon chart. In his 2-volume set, The Celestial Ship of the North, E Valentia Stratum says, through Cancer, or the gate of man, the soul descends upon earth to unite with the body, which is its spiritual death. Through Capricorn, the gate of the gods, it reascends to heaven. In his esoteric astrology, DK says, in Cancer, God breathed into man's nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. In these words, you have established the relationship which exists in the mind of God between spirit, the breath of God, the soul, consciousness, and man, the form. However, does this statement convey an intelligible concept to your mind? I think not, because the synthesis of the final relation is beyond the average grasp, and its linking or essential unity, lying as it does outside of consciousness and known reality, takes place first of all in this sign, one of the most ancient of the signs and one of the first to be recognized and established and as an influencing factor by ancient humanity. I tried to catch the sense of that ancient quality in this illustration. Geoffrey Beauchart's painting on Cancer depicts a hermit crab reaching for the moon, the exoteric ruler of Cancer. One of the many interesting details in Geoffrey's illustration is the depiction of an Egyptian scarab, which in that ancient culture represented the sign Cancer. The dung beetle follows the 28-day cycle of the moon as it rolls a ball of fecal matter in which the eggs are placed. After the end of the moon cycle, on the 29th day, the offspring are born. Okay, let's take a quick look at the Heraclean labor associated with Cancer. In brief, Heracles' task was to capture the elusive golden horn Kyrenian doe, or hind, which was claimed by both Artemis, daughter of the moon, and Diana, daughter of the sun, and to then take it to the safety of a sacred shrine and lay it on the altar. The labor, which took Heracles a year to accomplish is about subordinating both instinct and intellect to the intuition. Catching the doe was physically the simplest of the 12 labors, but also the most elusive to perform, for it represents a process rather than a specific task, which we realize by this detail. After Hercules placed the hind on the altar, he is dismayed to discover that the doe stands once again on the hillside. Addressing Heracles' confusion, the presiding one says, "Again and yet again must all the sons of men, who are the sons of God, seek for the golden antlered fawn and bear it to the holy place, again and yet again." So again and again, we must sanctify the form aspect by consecrating it to the purpose of the indwelling spirit. Okay, with this thought, let us turn to our meditation. Keep in mind that every full moon meditation that we do together helps to build our individual and group causal body into a more fit vehicle. And every group meditation also helps to bring into further focus the soul of our group. Okay, so spines erect, regular breathing, which helps to calm the physical and astral vehicles. Now let us lift our focus onto the mental plane and enter into the presence of the soul. As you deepen this contact, feel yourself moving into a field of light, love, and spiritual power. Now, let us merge ourselves as individual souls into a deep sense of the group soul. We can facilitate this merging by visualizing a ring of white light with each of us as points within that ring. And at the center, the Master DK, who is one with the group soul. As our unity continues to strengthen, let us extend this sense of inclusive connection out to the spiritually minded people of the world, including all men and women of goodwill. Now, in a conscious act of further extension, let us visualize our group soul merging into the one soul of humanity. In this act of inclusion comes the realization that there is no my soul and thy soul. In fact, as we participate in this unified field of consciousness, we can truly say, naught is but me. Now, while focusing on the will aspect of the soul, let us together visualize a point of tension within the mental unit, demonstrating as the color of your soul ray. This point of tension will form the foundation for your antakarana. If you don't know your soul and personality rays, use the second ray color, indigo. Now, let us visualize our dual-colored individual antakaranas, made up of the colors of our personality and soul rays, connecting the mental unit with the monastic permanent atom. As this visualization grows stronger, imagine our individual antakaranas merging into the group antakarana, which glows with all the 7 colors, but primarily the deep indigo blue of the second ray, reaching into the realm of the spiritual triad. Now let us affirm that great word of power. I see the greatest light. Now, from the point of group tension on the mental plane, let us imaginatively project a line of vivid, living white light into triadal realms. This group light is met by a light from on high. In the presence of this great light of the spiritual triad, let us, as a group, attempt to feel the presence of the Great White Brotherhood, the Lodge of Masters, the spiritual hierarchy of our planet. And now from this high point of tension, let us offer with heartfelt gratitude our salutations to the Masters and to the head of the hierarchy, the Christ. Salutations to the Buddha, the Lord of light and wisdom. Salutations to the Christ, the Master of all masters. Salutations to the triangle of masters with whom we work most closely. Salutations to the Master Morya. Salutations to the Master Kuthumi. Salutations to the Master Dual Kul. Salutations to the spiritual hierarchy of our planet. Now, as a group, let us lift our thoughts to Shambhala, the center where the will of God is known, and with deepest reverence and in all humility, attune to the presence of Sanat Kumara, standing at the very center of Shambhala. It is in this heightened state that we can come to realize that Shambhala is the planetary center through which the energies of the constellations and the planets enter our world to be distributed to all living beings on Earth. Now, let us align with the spiritual qualities emanating from the two planetary rulers of the sign, Cancer, the moon, the exoteric ruler, veiling Neptune, and representing the prison of the soul, Neptune as esoteric ruler, opening the emotional nature to the influences of love and compassion, and again, Neptune as hierarchical ruler, imbuing the consciousness with buddhi, intuition, the power of identification, and the realization of oneness. So let us first turn our attention to the energy of the moon veiling Neptune. DK says, in the mass mind, of which Cancer is the truest expression, it is fortunate that Neptune is veiled by the moon and that the form fails to register or step down many of the impacts to which the true man is sensitive. Average humanity is not yet fully equipped to bear the full range of these impacts, to handle them constructively or to transmute them and interpret them accurately. So, let us as a group open our consciousness to the power of the moon, the mother of form. This exoteric ruler provides us with the opportunity to rebuild the personality vehicles in such a way that they may prove fit to receive, hold, and radiate the light and love of the soul. Let us contemplate our personality sheaths. What needs to be strengthened and reattuned to bring one or more of these lunar vehicles into a condition that is capable of soul reception? Let us contemplate the three planetary energies that the moon veils. Vulcan, which builds the physical etheric body. Neptune, which builds the astral body. And Uranus, builder of the mental vehicle. Now, while visualizing ourselves imbued with these divine qualities, let us transmit them to all that might be healed by these energies. It is through this attunement that we can turn our attention to the energy of Neptune as esoteric ruler of Cancer, which conveys the power to refine, to sensitize, and calm the astral body, rendering it receptive to the love and compassion that streams in from the Buddhic plane. Let us as a group invoke the transformative energy of Neptune. DK tells us that as triple ruler of Cancer, Neptune confers the ability to penetrate the veils, reveal the ideal reality lying behind the form, and thus fathom the mystery of both quality and appearance. So let us consider for a moment how each of us and each of the groups with which we work, how this group might use this penetrating, love-filled energy to better serve humanity. Let us draw this divine energy into ourselves, visualize it flooding into the group aura, and then transmit it outwards to all humanity. Finally, let us penetrate even deeper into the essence of the Neptunian stream, where as hierarchical ruler, it reveals the way that leads to identification with the heart of life within the form. This is Neptune as the Christ, as Buddhi, permeating every form throughout the cosmic physical plane. Now let us consider how each of us in each of the groups with which we work, how this group might use this transcendent Neptunian energy in our service to others. Let us draw this energy into ourselves and once again transmit it outwards, visualizing its effects on all those we touch. Now let us turn our attention to the solar logos, who expresses its great life through all parts of our solar system. Let us come into a feeling awareness of the second ray of love wisdom, that great field of energy which pours into this solar system through Gemini, through the solar logos, to all the planets, through Shambhala, and through every monad, soul, and personality on our planet. Now let us lift our inner gaze to the constellation Cancer, radiating the diffused light of substance itself, the dark light of matter. It is this light within the threefold form nature that awaits and stands receptive to the stimulation coming from the light of the soul. Let us project our imaginative awareness into this Cancerian stream of energy, attempting to realize its profound relationship to the third ray of creative intelligence and the seventh ray of magic and order. Now let us take a moment to consider the esoteric mantra for Cancer. I build a lighted house, and therein dwell. And finally, let us together visualize the following energetic downflow, starting in the constellation Cancer, flowing down through the solar logos at the heart of the solar system, on through Neptune and the moon into Shambhala, then on down through our monads into the hierarchy, through the great Lord, the Christ, and into and through the ashram with which you believe yourself to be increasingly associated, on down through the soul of this group, and finally into your spiritualized personality. Now, let us take a moment while holding this high alignment with love and compassion. Consider the world situation and imagine some one way in which the rebuilding energies of Cancer might flow through us for the upliftment and redemption of humanity and the planet. Let us now channel that energy out to humanity. And we'll finish with a great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Okay, thank you all.